Podcast. Hello and welcome to Emma's podcast. In today's podcast, we're going to be talking about, my friend Ross Swan, because he's the next one on the list of people I want to talk about. Yes, this week is Circle of Light. So, I want to inspire you a little bit about the people that are close to me and the people I can lean on, talk, and trust for everything and anything. And Ross is someone that I knew for a few years now. We met through a project that brought us together, actually, because when I talked in my first episode of the week, and it was about gender and how the evolution of moving from a podcast to be sitting on the front of the computer to do what I'm doing, live streaming and stuff like that, this is the evolution. So sometimes you have to look at the path we take to have people in our lives. Seriously, we most of the time don't even think about it. I don't think about it unless once in a while I turn around and look at it and I'm like, holy crapola, how did we get there? Seriously, how did we get there? The most amazing part of it for us is a collaboration we did, because that wasn't the podcast, actually. It all started with Tweet. Yes, Twitter. When I mentioned that I would not be on social media if I didn't have a business. And this is a true story, because I could care less about social media. Seriously. So when I started my business, I had to put my business out there, and one of them was actually social media. Sorry, if you hear the noise, is I'm drinking water. This is the last podcast, the last recording of the week for the week, and Emma's voice is a little lower octane than usual. So back to the story. I started to create a blog. I created a blog, and I don't know how many thousands of story I have in there. I don't calculate those. I didn't calculate how many of those I have. I should maybe one day do that to see how many I published at blog level. But in order for, to do it and being known, then this is where you start. You have to post on social media, and you start with nobody following you at all, which is true. People don't follow you if they don't know you. So in order to be known, then you create your account and you start to post online. And I started to post on Tweet. I did it on Facebook, and that's the way I started to do it. And I started to post my blogs. And as I did that, over 6 months afterwards, somebody connected with me, and I believe Ross was already knowing who I was, and somebody decided to connect with me on Tweet. So I followed that individuals, and that individuals had magazines. And I had magazines. So I got approached and asked if I could, share on a monthly basis an article, which I did. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's awesome. It's another extension. It's a step up. Then we started to communicate actually with Ross, which was great. And because he was part of the magazines as well, he did the cover. It was awesome. It was great, actually. It was awesome. So we started to connect, and came the book, where we did a collaboration for a book, and everything went for charity. So we didn't got paid. It was for charity. For me, it was experience as well. I like to give back, so that was just perfect. It was like full circle. So I really enjoyed it. And we started to connect and communicate and sharing our story, know each other's, and do this. And I invited him on one of my podcasts when I was doing the interviews to know about him, because he had already his podcast as well. Very interesting. Those are great podcasts, actually. The leadership podcast, Soul Leadership podcast, is absolutely beautiful, from Ross. And the people he interview, the topics are very, very interesting and really eye-opening as well, because it's all about leadership. And he has many years of experience on leadership, actually. So that makes it even better. So I had him on my podcast. We talked about his business. We talked about his training because he has some training courses who are awesome, by the way, guys. They're not even that expensive. So if you want some great leadership training, and you don't need, actually, that was the thing too when we talk about leadership, because a lot of people think, well, you need to be a VP or CEO to be part of the leadership, so I'm not going to have that. And I'm like, no, the training he provides is for our daily life as well. It's for everybody. It's not only for CEOs, VPs, CEO, chairman, whatever, wherever they are. It's for everybody because this is what we do in life. We are the leader of our own lives to start with. So that's something that we need to look at. So it was very interesting to start to know him, learn who he was, learn where he come from. Come from because he's from Australia, living in Singapore, but just the most genuine person that I know. Somebody who really will laser out the situation, tell you what he sees it, and help people. And he helped countless people. If you go into my podcast, you will hear him, and I have him on several episodes of mine, talk about true stories on how people turn themselves around. And sometimes people don't, but most people are eager when you're in a leadership position to change the way you lead, because some leadership is like a dictatorialship, and it's like, no, this is not what people want to work on because this is like not good at all. It's like, well, if I really want this, I will go to jail because that's gonna be worse than where I'm at here. But that's not the kind of leadership you want to run a business. So he goes in and help at any level. It could be CEO, it could be a CFO, it could be manager. It doesn't have to be that high ranked either. And he helped those companies and the people in there to turn themselves around and do better, which is phenomenal. He has done that for years. He's a human problem solver. So having him around in my circle of light, yes, we do have 13 hours difference. So if I talk to him, it will be late at night or late evening. But at least I have someone who can provide me some great insight, great encouragement, and a great listener. Because when you need it, and I'm naming like Jenner, Mommy Molly, Amber, and I'm talking about Ross, you have to be a good listener. You cannot talk over people and not hearing them, okay? It's the same when you do an interview. It's not about, excuse me, it's not about who you are. It's about your guest. You are just there to elevate themselves so people can know more with who they are. It's not about me. It doesn't work this way. It should not work this way. I know some podcasts with some individuals have done that, and it's quite sad because you don't learn about the guest. And when you have a guest, it's about the guest, about who they are. This is what you do so people can listen that conversation. This is always what I have done. Actually, it's to listen to them, ask them the question, make them go back forth on things. It's not prepared, it's on the fly, it's real, it's raw, it's not thinking, it's just giving you the right answer that we are looking at to connect with people. So I really appreciated Ross as well, as a very good friend of mine. I can call him a very good friend of mine who, again, he's a great listener, but somebody who has fantastic insight. And when you're looking at the circle of light, you want to know who the people are. Are they here just because they're here? Or they want to use you for something? Or you're just a pawn on their chess? Or are they genuinely caring people? There is days we go through all hell, okay? And you have to be and feel comfortable to talk to your circle of light, not feeling ashamed. You might feel ashamed once in a while for a few things you have done and you wanted to hide because you felt stupid. That happens. But in reality, spending your time being open and loving and caring and really deciding what you want to do at the end of the day, and have those people surrounding you, giving you their honest feedback, not at the judgmental, but what they see, to show you a few things. It's not giving you the direction of what you're going to do, because at the end of the day, you decide. Do I move forwards? Do I go backwards? Do I go left? Do I go right? At the end of the day, it's always your decision. Whatever you do, wherever you go, it's always your decision. And it's not nobody else's. The only person at the end of the day, when you make a mistake, and if you listen to people, it's you. It's on you. It's on me. It's not on the person who gave you the advice. So what I appreciate with the people I recognize this week is to take the time to recognize the people around you and thank them. I do thank them. I did thank Amber, and I thanked everybody to be here for me at any given time. And as I said, it could be every day, having a call because you're not feeling okay, and having somebody that can hear you. The human contact. That's what it is. The human contact. It is not that easy. When you're looking at where we are, it is not that easy every day. And when you don't, or if you don't have a partner living with you, if you don't have somebody in your life, or maybe you could have somebody in your life who literally doesn't give a crap about what's going on with you, well, we don't have the support. You need that circle of light. This is who is going to help you to lift you up. So finding, as I said, you don't have to go and run on the street and try to find 20 people or 3 or 4 people. They will come in your life on due time. Mommy Molly came at the time of my pops. This is how I met her. This is what we did. Chrissy Ann, where did I meet beautiful Chrissy Ann? I don't remember. She's going to say, Emma, shame on you. That was at the practice. I was going somewhere for medical things that I needed to get done. That's where I met Chrissy Ann. Fabulous person. Ross, I just told you the story. Jenner, he found me on Wisdom, believe it or not. He found me on Wisdom and approached me live. I will always remember. He approached me live and asked me to be Cassini for Journey to Saturn, because he found the voice he was looking for several years. He found that voice, which was my voice. He found Cassini. And from there, we instantly connected and instantly knew who we were. And we were close to each other, and we are close to each other, even though we're living in different states. But we're loving each other, we're caring about each other's, we're checking after each other's. My friend Jay, who passed away, my beautiful friend Jay, I know he's going to say, stop it. He was very humble. But I knew him for over 20 years. I consider him my brother. I was his family, he was my family. This is how close we were, and we were an ocean apart. So people come in your life for very interesting reason, very interesting way, and friendship can be formed at any given time. But your circle of life is precious. Even when you lose someone like Jay, to me it's been one of the most horrifying process I've gone through. I have taken a lot in my face lately, I would say, with a lot of things and a lot of changes and a lot of stress and a lot of chaos, which, brought to the deepest and the deepest of the darkness that I went through. It's so essential to recognize who's your circle of light. There is some people who are fake, narcissists, liars, cheaters. They don't care about who you are, have no empathy, will do nothing for you at all, even if you're down, will not even care for a minute how you're doing, how you're feeling, because they're not interested of that, because this is not the goal for them. And you have those genuine people who will open their heart and take the time to talk to you. And even if they don't talk right away, they will ask you maybe in 2 to 3 hours, can we connect? That is fantastic. I'll receive Mommy Molly, we're talking via Instagram right now, and she makes me laugh because I said to her at the end of the recording, guys, I did send her an Instagram message and said, by the way, I did an episode called Mommy Molly. I talked about you. She's like, oh, I'm like, yeah. So I will send her the episode, the one that got released Wednesday. I'm going to send it to her for her to listen to it. But think about all of this, guys. Think about the people that surround you. I'm recording this, and we're Thursday, April the 6th, which is the full moon. What do you need to release? You know, what is your added value in people? Who are they? What value do they add to your life? Are they there to encourage you, or are they there to betray you, to lie to you, to cheat, to be conniving, to be like a snake? Are they part of the life you want to live with? That's the hardest part. And, it's very difficult when you have to walk away from situations and people like that too. So it's not, how we call it, a walk in the park at all. But those are essential for us. That, to me, the circle of light is something, again, you need to have. And sometimes you have only one person. Like for Jay, for many, many years, I only had Jay. My buddy Jay, my bro Jay, before everybody came and started to come around, and I started to trust people, and I started to open up to people, because that's not easy. Some people love to expose their life to others, but for others like us, who've gone through hell back and forth, as a solitary warrior, you have to learn to open up. You have to learn to reach out for help, which is very difficult when you used to be on your own and do everything on your own. But when you start to open and reach out to your circle of light, this is where you can feel the love. This is where you can feel the support. And that is one of the biggest things. So, my friend, like I said, Ross, that I'm talking about right now, is a fantastic leader coach. And to me, leadership is about our life as well. Leadership is about the struggle we've got and we're facing every day. How do we react as humans? How do we live our life for the better? How do we push ourselves to a level where we are in the right place? Who are we? That's what it's all about. And having people that surrounds you, then you can lean on, is so amazing. It's so beautiful. I am so glad for all of them, and I'm very humble and blessed. They are part of my life. They are fantastic people. They are people that I truly appreciate every feedback I'm hearing from them. And there is some feedback I don't want to hear about it. It's not like roses, like life. It's not like roses and bonbons every day and champagne. No, it's not. So being able to see that, being able to be open, seeing, and being able to really embrace every single thing, I think it's fantastic. So I'm very grateful, and I wanted to do that episode as well. I said, when I started my recording, those 3 episodes, I had no idea, to be honest with you, where we'll go, because it's freestyle, because it's not scripted. Nothing is scripted on those 3. But I just opened my heart and spoke what I needed to say so people could hear it and take what resonates with you guys, because those stories are everybody else's stories, and that's what is so beautiful. So recognize and acknowledge the people that surround you, because they are worthy. Maybe there is some days we're not happy, maybe some days we want to talk, some days we don't want to talk, some days we have to close ourselves off to them, but they will knock at the door and say, hi, how you doing? Because I have weeks I have not spoken to any one of them, because I wasn't feeling good. I didn't want to talk. My head was down. I know I had to deal with other things that were more stressful. So I did not acknowledge them at that point, but I did it afterwards, when I forced myself to stop to be the oyster and open up. So think about it, guys. Be inspired by your circle of light and acknowledge them and celebrate them. So to my friend Ross, thank you so much to be my friend. And again, if you need a fantastic leader coach, please connect with Ross Swan, because he's a phenomenal coach. So all my love, guys, and I will talk to you later. Bye now. Emma's Universe Podcast.